The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guest do not reflect those of the host, the show, the management, and the network.
Good evening, everyone. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas, at good evening, fellow Filipinos all over the world. To our kababayan on the other side, hello, and to those in the other time zone, good morning. It's Saturday evening once again, and you are with me, Dr. Eva Aranas Angel, in Kuwentong Alzheimer's at iba pa here in Talk Life channel. Before we begin our program for tonight, I would like to thank everyone who shared our poster, who shared our link, and most of all, who watched the live telecast last week. And we here at Top Life Channel felt your warm welcome and support for episode 1 and for the program in general. And we hope that you will continue to support us during the entire season. We actually popped champagnes, bottles and bottles of champagnes, but they're just the sticker champagnes at our webpage or our group chat because we were happy with the outcome. And so for tonight, we are giving you another topic. We are going to explore the nursing home landscape that has been changing and the institutional care in the country, the world in general, and the Philippines in particular is being threatened by the great tsunami. The wave of older persons seen to be fastest growing in Southeast Asia, the Philippines included. As a result, there is a mushrooming of nursing home facilities in major or key cities in Metro Manila, Cebu, Iloilo, and Davao City. In fact, I have seen a listing of some of the nursing homes that are accredited in Davao City, and this is in the list of the Nursing Home Association of the Philippines. It is a technology as well as an aging population that has been playing a big role in the proliferation of nursing homes because video calls, CCTVs, security cameras have made it a lot easier to manage and put up long term care facilities. In a survey, it has been shown that in 1996, only 71% agreed that there should be a home for the aged, but this has increased considerably to 81% in 2018. What are the factors that play when a decision has to be made whether or not a loved one is put in a nursing home? In tonight's episode of Quantum Alzheimer's at Iba pa, we will answer those questions as well as introduce to you a unique model of long-term care for patients with dementia that emanated from a vision called normalized scale aging for people with dementia. This is a story of La Verna Aged Care and Dementia Village in Marikina Heights, Marikina City, and Metro Manila, because it takes a village to take care of dementia. To enlighten us about long term care, we are privileged to have with us a very knowledgeable resource person who I will be introducing now formally. He is considered to be the pioneer in geriatric medicine in the country, having been the first graduate of the formal clinical training and fellowship in geriatric medicine at St. Luke's Medical Center. And this was in 1993. And after which, he became a scholar at the United Nations Development Program at the International Institute of Aging in Valletta, Malta. So it's the same scholarship that I had. So, Doc, pasensya na. I just have to be in the shadow of your fame. Kailang masingit yon. And also, after that, he went to the Graduate School of Medicine in Nagoya and proceeded to have his PhD as a Monbushu scholar in 2001. He came back from his studies to become the director of the Geriatric Center in St. Luke's Medical Center for 15 years in 2001 to 2015. And at the same time, he was the first deputy chief of the National Center for Geriatric Health Research Center of the Department of Health in 2010 to 2016. Currently, he is the president and chief executive officer of a privately owned aged care service called Verna Aged Care and Dementia Village. He has published more than 75 research papers both locally and internationally, and is currently the editor-in-chief of the Philippine Journal of Geriatrics and Gerontology. He has consulted for government entities like the Department of Health, Department of Foreign Affairs, NEDA, or National Economic and Development Authority, and international organizations like Asian Development Bank, World Bank, and World Health Organization on aged care. Ladies and gentlemen, my honor and pleasure to present to you tonight's guest, Dr. Miguel A. Ramos Jr. Good evening, Doc.
Thank you. Hi, good
Hi,
evening,
it's
Dr.
nice to see you
Eva.
again, Doc. As if naman, di tayo nag-Zoom conference every so often.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm
First
so
of all, I'd
glad
like to
technology is on our side tonight. Would you like to say
exactly.
something, Doc, to our viewers?
Yes, yes. First of all, I'd like to thank you, of course, for inviting me to your talk show. It's a privilege and an honor. Kuwentong Alzheimer's at iba pa. And it's been quite a while, not 2 decades ago since we worked together at the
Yeah.
Geriatric Center of St. Luke's. 2 decades is a long time, but I must say you're looking great every time, virtually or in person. So, dapat ang topic natin yung sikreto mo. So, I'd also like to greet the viewers of the
The world
Talk
worldwide
Life
or global?
channel. Talaga. Pleasant good day to everybody, wherever you are. Yes, I'd like to talk about long-term care here in the Philippines. Slowly,
Yeah.
slowly, we are trying to get there.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I should throw the first question. Is it okay with
Yes.
you?
Yes.
You
Yes,
see,
Eva.
talking about long-term care and nursing home placement, how is the Filipino culture adapting to aged care or nursing homes? Because as Filipinos all over the world, we have been known to be a closely knit family. Have we cut the traditional ties that bind the Filipinos as a family by
Yes,
putting
Eva.
our
Yeah,
by putting
it's very
our older
interesting.
persons in the
Yeah.
nursing home?
Yeah, very interesting observation. No, let's look at some facts you mentioned a while ago. A recently published survey done by University of the Philippines. It's called the Survey Longitudinal Study on Aging and Health. It's a published study in 2018, and they out
Abalos.
of the yeah Abalos and Professor Cruz, Grace Cruz, our good friend, uh, they reported in 2018, yeah, that 80 about 80% approve of the idea of having nursing homes or uh, aged care in the Philippines. No, so this is an improvement from the previous survey in 2000, I think 1996, no, 70% approve of the idea. It's a good idea to have a nursing home in the Philippines. So again, this is backed up by the fact that 10 years ago, a decade ago, we did a directory of the nursing
Yeah,
homes in the whole Philippines. If you can
the
remember, no,
PSGM.
the PSGM book, we published it, and there were only a handful. Mabibilang mo sa 10 daliri, mga 10 lang siguro yung
Kasali
nursing
yun sa
homes din.
amin, di ba?
Yes, kasali yun sa inyo. But that was 10 years ago. And if you Google the nursing home in the Philippines, you will find out that across the country, there are around 130, no?
100.
So
So
130
tenfold.
from 10 to, yes, more than 10
Yeah.
folds of increase in number of nursing homes in the whole country. Uh, and also this year, we were able to organize this nursing home. So there is now a nursing home association of the Philippines.
Nursing Home Association of the Philippines,
The
yes.
Philippines, yes. So the first task was to lobby for the inclusion of the residents of these nursing homes and the caregivers or the frontliners to be included in the prioritization of the immunization for COVID-19. And we submitted a paper to the Department of Health, which they approved naman. So we received a positive response. In fact, the local governments went into these nursing home sites and administered the vaccines uh, on
Also,
site.
it
No,
was
they on
implemented,
site.
Doctor.
It was implemented. So we are very very happy. And I think some of the nursing homes have received their booster vaccines now, and some are just waiting for their turn, including the caregivers as well. So we are very happy that the government has recognized this need by this vulnerable sector of the population in the Philippines. So
So you're
next
saying
in
there's
the
a
agenda,
recognition na
yes.
of
Oh,
the
next in
sa
our
vulnerable sector.
agenda, next in the agenda of the Nursing Home Association of the Philippines is to lobby for the inclusion of nursing home services in the national insurance system, yung PhilHealth natin,
When
no,
you say
under the
national
universal
insurance, would that be
healthcare.
PhilHealth or PHIC,
Yes,
Doctor?
yes, PhilHealth, sana, no, as in other countries like the United States or European countries, in Canada, long-term care is included in their benefits, no, ng mga senior citizens, especially those who are placed in an institution. And we hope we can also establish that here in the Philippines through the Association of the Nursing Homes in the country. So there is a growth, a tremendous growth of this. Used to be a backyard industry, now
Yeah.
going into mainstream. Uh,
Sometimes I feel like
so
in Davao it is because I'm not so sure about their accreditation with the Department of Social Welfare and Development. So it's important to have that kind of accreditation because we need quality control with regard to our environment, the specification of the buildings, and the training of our caregivers who need specialist training, especially in geriatrics, doctor. I think there are very few geriatric nurses in the country. In fact, in SPMC, we only have one for now, but we're hoping that
oh,
there will be more. But I have a follow up question, Doc. How far have we shifted in our paradigms from traditional home care to institutional care? Because I remember one of the principles of the United Nations is that the older person should stay in the family or in the community for as long as possible. And I don't think that is happening now because they just want to sort of get rid of the older person right away if it becomes inconvenient for the family.
yes, Eva, I wouldn't say that there is a shift in the paradigm. Perhaps what we are seeing, the growth phenomenon, reflects the previous absence of this service provision. No? Wala kasing option before. But I
Yeah.
think the demand was always there. I say option because as a geriatrician like you and a gerontologist like you, we advocate that the older person should stay at home for as long as possible, as you said. We still think that staying in your own homes or aging in place, as we call it, is still the most ideal situation for
Yeah.
an older person with a chronic diseases or disabilities, taken care of by their loved ones and enjoying their remaining life or the journey towards end of life with their loved ones. It is only that if it's not possible that we offer a kind of institutionalization as an option. So what is happening is that we are providing options which was not present before. That's why this observation that we are looking at right now.
But what I noticed, doctor, is that those who have a lot of exposures in the US or in Western countries are the first ones who say yes to nursing home placement,
Yes, exactly. Oh,
right?
so exactly. That's one of the factors that are moving this industry because most of our kababayans abroad are have been exposed to these kinds of services and are looking at the Philippines as an option. So instead of putting their older persons sa US na nandoon na, they are looking at
They come
options
home.
in
Yeah.
sa pauwiin na lang sa Pilipinas where I think is more comfortable and perhaps a more natural way of
And
doing
more
things.
affordable.
More affordable, exactly.
Okay, so
Yes.
at this point, doctor, we're going to take a commercial break and we will be back with you in a while. Angel,
Stay active and feeling bagets, I drink Nestle Boost Optimum para ang muscles malakas, pati immunity at digestive health ko. Nestle Boost Optimum, lakas makabagets!
Buy two, save 400 pesos.
this show would like to thank Tacovid Superbio, the natural vitamin E. This program would like to thank partners in plastic surgery, room S510, 4th floor, Health, Science and Wellness Building, MDMRC Hospital, Bahada, Davao City. Telephone number 0932-880-8490.
Stay active and feeling bagets, I drink Nestle Boost Optimum para ang muscles malakas, pati immunity at digestive health ko. Nestle Boost Optimum, lakas makabagets!
Buy two, save 400 pesos.
And we're back. Doctor?
Yes.
Yeah, we're back. I like the
Yeah, we're
audio
back.
now. You're yeah, I think you may have fixed the audio, but what we left off was the changing landscape of our nursing homes. So
Yes.
um, I actually have a follow up question to that before we segue into the dementia village. There seems to be um, I would like to ask for the factors, okay, that um, change the Filipino mindset
Factors.
about nursing home placement. Those who are here, not I'm not talking about those who are abroad because it's so easy for them, like it's $1,000 a month, and that's peanuts to them. But for those who stay in the
Yes.
Philippines, earning pesos and putting their loved one in a nursing home, that can really be very backbreaking in terms of well, it breaks the bank.
Yes. It's true. There are some external factors, we call it, that is driving the nursing home industry. Um, One, of course, is the most important is the demographic shift of the Philippine situation. Although we are considered as a young country, but 4 years from now, meaning in 2025, we will hit the
2025,
10%
that's 4 years,
proportion.
4 years from now,
2025, yes. Yes,
10%,
we will
that
hit the
makes like
10% of the
15,
population 60 years
15,000,
old and above.
15,000
Yes.
senior
So,
citizens. Like, Doc, kasi I'm doing the math.
10% of yeah, 10% of 100
Okay.
million.
Hindi pa ako
So
kasali hindi pa ako kasali,
yeah.
Doc. Pinapit ko.
So
Okay,
yun,
so
we will be
for four,
considered
yeah.
as an aging population, aging
Two more
country.
years.
So that's demographic is the number one. As you said, yung great tsunami is hitting our shores. So this will be a driving force. And number two, another factor is the economics. No economics. If you are to believe the experts from the banks, the ADBs, and the World Bank, and predictions are made in Philippines and in Asia in general, that the economic growth, there will be a boom. So economic
Yeah.
growth pushes longevity. So that means
All the literature
longevity.
I've read, Doctor, they say
Yeah,
that it's going to be the fastest in Southeast Asia.
I hope so. And this will also boost the longevity or yung
Yeah.
haba ng buhay ng mga Pilipino. And this, of course, pushes in favor of nursing homes. And number three is the increase in the migration of workers. No,
Oh, yeah.
alam naman natin lahat that including female workers, we are seeing an unprecedented increase in female workers
Who are
offshores,
who
especially
used to be
for
the
caregivers
traditional
and nurses.
caregivers? Yes.
Yes, exactly. So in the Philippines, we bank on female daughters, no, the youngest, usually
Sometimes they're
ang
just left with the
nag-aalaga ng
kasambahay
matanda.
doctor, or with the
Exactly. So
kapitbahay.
these are external factors that pushes the industry. And another one is you have observed the technology right
Yeah.
now because of the pandemic. Technology has also advanced tremendously. And it's easy for somebody to contact someone like we are doing right now. No, it's everybody's reachable in just one click. So nursing homes are relying on innovations and technology for people to connect. No, yung dating ang hirap kontakin ng nanay ko even sa nursing home is now
Yeah.
possible even on a daily basis.
Yeah, because
I because
elderly
yes,
are
it is allowed.
technophobes, diba? Oo.
Yes, yeah, but since this is facilitated in an institution on a nursing home, then it becomes a new normal that you can talk to your daughters in the States, in Canada, or in Saudi. Uh, you just request the administration that you want to talk to them. So I
So
think
in a way, doctor, like a facilitating entity, parang Nokia noon, connecting people.
yes, 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 this is true. And a lot of technologies are now favoring this kind of system. Even doctors, if they want to
Yeah.
call me in the institution, they can just,
Yeah, yeah.
show the patient through the video. And we have
Remote surgeries.
remotely.
Yeah.
Yes, and also we use this, meron na ring remote na stethoscope, kinatawag na
Yeah, I've seen
stethoscope.
that.
I've worked with that with the nursing homes, and there's
How was it,
this
doc?
ECG. It's okay. It's you have to get the hang of it. You have to be practicing like you're
Yeah.
practicing listening to I mean actual listening. So there are a lot of gadgets right now that we use in our nursing homes. We sometimes use a wearable device where we are alarmed. Uh, I mean, for falls, no, for dangers of falls. If the patient manifests imbalance, we are alarmed. We the gadget sends an alarm for us to look at the patient, and these are all in favor of institutionalization, I think. No, so
Kasi
yeah.
kami, doc, in
So you have
SPMC,
demographics, economics,
yeah,
migration, and technology. Yeah.
a lot of things actually, and they're all byproducts of progress. They're all byproducts of maybe poverty from where they come from. And there was a time
Yes.
when ask any Filipino, and they would say anywhere but the Philippines. So they would go to Africa. They would go to oil rigs just to be able to work. So I think even after or even during the pandemic, what remains is that
Yes.
our biggest export will be our human resources. parang ganun pa rin. Everybody's
Exactly.
leaving.
Yeah.
Even it's still difficult to get a DFA appointment for passport renewal because people are still leaving. Not for holidays, Doc, but for work, in spite of the pandemic. So, anyway,
Yes.
we need to show the video clip of the dementia village. I would like to have this two things. We have kasi Doc, a Laverna village in Davao that gets flooded with the little rain. So we're not talking about that kind of Laverna. We're talking about the Laverna Aged Care and Dementia Village in Marikina Heights, in Marikina City in Metro Manila. And second, a disclaimer, while all the facilities and all the amenities that we will be showing in the video clip are real, the patients and the staff are actors,
People,
actually, because
yeah.
of doctor-patient confidentiality. We cannot
Privacy.
show the picture or the face of their patients because most of the time they're up in the alley. But to be able to afford uh, the place called a dementia village. So maybe Angel, if you're ready with our slideshow. Thank you so much, Angel. Doc, kinuha ni Angel Salvatore yung
Thank you,
slideshow of the
Angel.
pictures we
Thank you,
sent.
Angel.
Yeah. So, the place is so cute. I haven't been there yet, but I'd like to go. Pero Doc, walang spa. If it's my time to go there, go kayo spa, Doc, ha? And also, maybe we can teach the residents yung YMCA, Doc, because that's something that never gets old when when you're in a village with the village people. It's got to be
Village
YMCA.
people, yeah.
Doc generation yun, Doc. Alam niya agad. Nakuha niya agad. I think that was very prominent in Greenwich Village in New York. But yeah. Anyway, Doc, before you answer some of the questions and before you say anything about the Laverna, I would just like to share that actually the origin of the dementia village became a buzzword about 2 or 3 years ago. And it was called the Hushway Complex. And when I see this in articles, they would always say that it's Amsterdam, but the real location is actually in Wisp, which is about 3 hours away from Amsterdam. So it's a bit
Amsterdam, yes.
secluded. I think they meant it to be that way because Amsterdam is just so noisy and so how do I say this politely? Amsterdam is crowded. So they went to that place called Wisp, and actually they started very small, with only 4 houses, and now they have 24 houses. So this inspired some European countries, Doc, and especially Switzerland and Germany. They were inspired and they were expected to follow suit, but it seems like naunahan po sila ng Philippines, Doc. You are a visionary, and congratulations for that. So, can you tell us more about the Verna Dementia Village?
Yes, Eva, actually, we started in 2015. No, 2015, we're
Bago
just
lang ito, ha? 2000.
bago lang talaga. We started just like any other nursing homes around Marikina City, and which is becoming now a nursing home capital of the Philippines. It hosts around more than 10 nursing homes. No, magkakatabi kaming nursing homes doon. In various degree of operation. May small ones. I think Bong Sanyosa has 10 bed capacity, and then we're beside a bigger uh, nursing home, which is Camilus, which houses around 100 beds. We're
Oh,
like in the middle, mga 50 beds lang kami. What we're looking at 75 beds, and we are 90% to 95% full capacity. So, ang nangyari, during the first year of our operation, we noticed that majority of those who wanted their older persons to be inside are those with dementia, yung severe, no? And with behavioral or psychiatric symptoms associated with dementia or BPSD. Hence, we decided after a year that we should focus on their needs. And luckily at that time, a colleague, another geriatrician, was at that time in Netherlands, and I asked her to visit
yeah.
Hogiwake Dementia Village, and it so she took the travel 3 hours nga tama ka, and
News.
at that time it was being featured in CNN, and
Yeah.
it was talked about internationally, providing unique environment for those demented people. And sabi niya, Doc Mike, mahirap pala pumasok sa loob because you have to have an appointment months before. You cannot just walk in. No, may bayad din yung pag
Yeah.
in fact it has become a
A tourist
tourist spot.
attraction.
Yes. So sabi niya,
The double
what
ano ha? Double
yeah, double
compensation sila.
purpose. Yeah. So when she visited, she was able to get some brochure, talk to some staff, and but was not able to go through the usual walk, the talk, no, na
Yeah.
ginagawa nila when you have an appointment and you have paid this a big amount of money for Filipinos. So when she came back, we sat down and we talked about the possibility, the potential, and I picked some of the things that can be applicable here. I noticed that most of the services are not applicable and the processes are not applicable. So we added a Filipino taste.
Yeah.
We made it
Cul-
into a
to be
Pinoy
culturally
Pinoy style.
sensitive, yeah.
So instead of a mall or a grocery, we
Sari-sari store.
sari-sari store, because
Yeah.
yung lola at lola natin and the manner of payment is just lista-lista, no? This is very common, no?
Lista.
Oh,
Tapos
lista lang,
makalimutan na ni
lista.
Doc kasi they have
Of
Alzheimer's.
course, yeah.
Hindi
So
ba
we don't use,
nalulugi yung tindahan niyo dyan, Doc?
hindi naman. So yun, no? So yung mga ganun. Of course, we added the most important, of course, is the chapel. They want to stay in the chapel to
Have a
pray.
barber shop.
A quiet room, a barbershop,
Salon.
a salon where they can chat with yung mga kwentong barbero. Ika nga, ano, because a lot
Yeah.
of these persons with dementia would love to talk about the past, and we have a barbero there waiting to talk about.
It's a real barbero, ha?
He's a gardener in the morning, barbero siya sa hapon. He's good with
He's using
scissors.
the garden shears. Doc, you're kidding.
So, yun, we have a game room with
Yeah, I saw the
billiards.
billiard table. Yeah, very
Yes,
nice.
and of course, yung music therapy namin is not the piano or the classical thing, but more of karaoke. This is very Filipino.
I
So they
saw
love
a
to sing.
common room, like a living room, and
Yes,
an entertainment center.
entertainment center, and we have a garden. No, we have
Garden, yeah.
yeah,
It's
so they can
almost
work in
like
the
a
park.
European courtyard.
Yes, yes. So we have a park, a garden, and a very big, spacious parking area for the visitors, of course. And yes, so we provided the services or the physical structure for environment, but I think the more important thing is the social environment. No, uh, social
Doc, let
environment.
me let
Yeah.
me segue to the
Yes,
question.
please.
When you said
Sure.
social environment, what would be the benefits in terms of behavior? What would be the benefit of a setting like that to the behavior
Yeah.
and cognitive or memory functioning of our patients in a dementia village
Yeah. It's I
in
think yeah.
compared to the usual nursing homes.
Exactly. So I think I should tell you the story. These theories on how we should respond to demented patients or persons with dementia. It's the right term, no, politically correct. PWD, persons with dementia.
Ah, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Kasi persons
PWD.
with
So
disability din kasi yung iba.
yeah.
Yeah.
I must admit that I'm guilty of some misconception during my early years as a geriatrician. No, because of there was a limited understanding of the characteristics of the psychology behind the patients with dementia. We are focused on the definition of what is dementia. We forgot the question of ano bang klase yung tao na may dementia? We are looking at the dementia but not looking at the person who has dementia. So, we started with historically we started with sympathetic care kung tawagin ano. It's like naawa ka, treatments reacting to common belief na kawawa naman yung matanda or he has contributed so much and doesn't deserve this. And this is the kind of care that we used to give, no? About 2 decades ago or 3 decades ago. And there's another kind of therapy, yung tinatawag nilang response care, no? Yung parang knee-jerk reaction lang for behavioral problems. And as a doctor, we tend to medicalize everything, no? We have the pharmacologic management
Yeah.
na alam natin. And we used to
That's the
prescribe.
easiest.
That's the easiest for us,
Yeah.
for doctors. But this kind of response is not sustainable, actually. It's hardly an objective one. It cannot be it's not transferable, and you cannot even describe this as a technique. No? It has to be based on a theory. Yung tinatawag nila na sympathetic care or responsive care are reflex reactions. So we even call the behavioral manifestation as problems, behavioral problems. We tend to prescribe medications, antipsychotic, anticholinergic,
Yeah.
lahat ng antidepressant.
Hindi na nga
just
doc,
just to
polypharmacy
just to
na.
remove them. No, we tend to be biased in helping the caregivers. No, kung wala silang complaint, the family is happy with what you're doing, then you must be doing something right. So, and this is a mistake, really. If you look at what should be done, now we have adopted the person-oriented care. We are more
Person-oriented care. Okay.
Yes, we are more focused to the patient or the person with dementia. What is going on inside that man or person, not the effect of these manifestations to the surrounding people. So we are now focused on that. Uh, so much so that we train our caregivers to put their selves in the shoes of the persons with dementia. Sometimes we forget, no. I also have a misconception na since the main problem is the memory of these patients, siguro hindi sila tinatalabanan ng lungkot or ng anxiety kasi nakakalimutan lang din naman nila yung
Yeah.
problema. I used to believe that. Many years ago.
But some
No,
retain
but
insight, diba, doc?
yes, not only some, all of them retain insights.
Insight.
All these manifestations of behavioral problems per se na sinasabi natin, it's not really a problem. It's about communication. Everything they try to communicate, but they are not able to because of they're losing their faculties. This yung wandering na lakad ng lakad, it's not because naglalakad sila ng baliwala lang. It's because they have a purpose in their mind, but they're not
Unmet
sure what.
needs.
Yes,
Yeah.
they want to do something, but they have forgotten it. So it's a matter of looking at the manifestations through their eyes, not as a spectator, no? Which we used to do. Na, ay, kawawa naman or kawawa naman yung bantay, but not really looking at what's happening inside that person. That's why you have kwento. Kwento nung taong nakasurround, but not the kwento nung pasyente mismo. So, but recently, a lot of people who were diagnosed early with dementia, have now started talking about their experience
I see.
inside the body of dementia. So we are understanding it right now, and now focusing on that, helping the persons with dementia, and uh, giving them the opportunity to live the normal life that they just really want. Can you imagine one demented patient describe his experience, saying that it's like a big black uh, hole in his head that is growing and growing every day, and
Oh.
that he is afraid that he is just, like hanging on a cliff. That's why he wants to be with someone to show him around and remind him. So
And that's where the dementia village comes in.
yes. So the dementia village is trying to fill that gap in the caring. We have two types of approach: the pharmacologic, which we all know as doctors and geriatricians, and the non-pharmacologic. The non-pharmacologic, I think, has evolved more importantly for the patients. For the patients, uh, I can imagine now how it feels to be losing your memory, like it's dripping out of your hands, of your palms, on a daily and constantly basis. So there is fear, there is confusion, and there's a lot of depression and a lot of uh, disability, no, because you live on moment to moment. So you just, and you know it, you are aware of this, and this is happening to you, and you cannot do anything about it except that to depend on the social support that a dementia village can give. And I hope the family also can give that. But unfortunately, it's a vicious cycle when they try to, you know, navigate the caring for their older persons with severe dementia. Nagiging vicious cycle, and both become losers because pareho silang disappointed, pareho silang nagagalit, pareho silang umiinit ang ulo. So what we want to do is really to provide environment support to get a win-win situation wherein the patient is happy and the one caring for him or her is both happy also. So that's the principle behind it. It's a patient or person-centered approach.
Yeah, I think along with that, that will be a sense of independence and a
Yes,
better quality of life.
exactly. For
Yeah.
the patients and the caregivers as well.
Yeah. However, Doc, I would like to play a devil's advocate in this instance because I also came across articles which say that what we're doing in a dementia village is just like misleading people that this is their reality. What can you say to that kind of criticism about the dementia village?
Well, I can understand the comparison. No? I think there was a movie compared to Hojiwake village
Yeah, and
in
how'd
the
you wait?
movie ni, I forgot his name, the funny guy.
Truman,
Yeah,
the
where
Jim
he
Carrey
lived.
Truman. Yeah,
Yeah, Harry Truman. Yes, Truman. So they
Truman, yeah.
compared it
Jim
to the
Carrey.
Truman Show, where there's a virtual everything, but these people haven't been inside a nursing home, perhaps, to see really what's going on. So if you really want to know what's going on, you really have to go to a nursing home and see what the patients are going through. And I think that would be the answer to that. It's very hard to rebut that, but I think they should put themselves in the shoes of the patients who are slowly losing themselves. So I think what we are doing is just to provide a safety net for the patient, for the person with dementia, and hopeful that they will live a more meaningful life than is if you just forget about them and just worry about those who are caring for them. Remember, there are two patients when you have a demented person, the demented person himself and the caregivers, they say. But unfortunately, the first, you know, historically, we took care of the caregivers more than the
I've
patients.
seen that a
That,
lot of times because
yes,
the
you
question is
remember?
who's taking care of the
Yes.
carer,
So,
diba, Doc?
yes, Eva, you have experienced that na mga magdadala
A
sa'yo sa
lot,
clinic
a
yung
lot, sir. Mas
kamag-anak.
nauna pa yung
Sasabihin nila
bantay.
yes, magrereklamo sila ng magrereklamo. Pag tinanong mo naman yung pasyente mismo, if you ask them, wala ho,
Wala.
doktor, okay lang po ako. So
That's
your
the
tendency
problema.
is to side with the carer. Sige,
Yeah.
gagamatin ko na lang ho siya para alang-alang sa inyo. So ganun yung nangyayari in the real world.
Which
But
is also
now,
painful because
yes,
for the bantay, Doc, na nobody's
yeah,
looking after.
yeah. So
Anyway, Doc, if it's not a trade secret, how much does it cost to be admitted in a dementia village like yours? Well,
okay.
you don't have to answer if this is a
No, no,
delicate.
I'm really would gladly answer, but would put it in a perspective. Dementia as a disease entity, I think in 2015, has cost the United States about
Several
eight
billions.
hundred 880 billion US
Billion,
dollars.
yeah.
Yes, and it's projected to increase the economic cost of dementia is projected to increase to
Billion.
$2 trillion in 2030. If you combine yung kanyang economic cost and compare it to the existing industries like Apple and Google, it's even mas malaki pa
Bigger.
yung
It's an even
bigger.
bigger industry, yeah.
Yes, in fact, if you categorize dementia as a country, mas mataas pa yung kanyang GDP or
GDP.
economic cost kaysa Pilipinas. So, in that perspective, it's an expensive uh, condition for countries, no? And if you look at the way nursing home costs in the United States or in the European countries, correct me if I'm wrong, and if you're listening from abroad, and this could be on the average of 5,000 US dollars, no? I think I'm not so
Um,
sure, but
in
I've
Europe,
heard
doctor,
merong
it's 5,000 euros. So it's about
yes,
300 to 350,000. So maybe by now
yes,
it should be half a million because the literature I read was
yeah.
2015.
So in the
So
Philippines, yeah, in the Philippines,
half a
the
million,
cost,
that's a lot of money.
yeah, it's a lot of money. In the Philippines, it costs around 10% of that. No, so mababa lang talaga. So, but if you look at those who are maintained sa bahay naman, looking at the gastos nila sa caregivers that they have to hire, you know how much a caregiver costs right now on a 12-hour shift,
It's about
and
two to 3,000.
yes, exactly. And you multiply that in a month's basis, plus yung kailangan mo ng home visit ng doctor, like you and me, we go to the pasyente, plus the food and the electricity. If you sum it up, mas mura pa rin talaga kung ilalagay
Yeah,
nila
facility.
sa facility.
I think they
So,
have the added advantage, Doc, of having a social network, like being
yes,
with like-minded people, people with shared
exactly.
experiences. Because
Yes,
most of the time, there's a generational gap or thing between the caregiver and the patient.
exactly. So, if you add up to the numbers, hindi naman siya expensive, or it's not for the privilege, if you want to put it that way. It's not for the rich people. The rich people can, have a condominium and they can
Yeah,
afford
yeah.
three shifts of nurses plus nursing assistants plus doctors plus rehab and
Specialized
everything.
transport, Doc, like
Yes. So
remote controlled
most
remote
of
controlled town and country that can bring
yes.
down the wheelchair. Ang ganda
So
akong
most
pasyente.
of our clientele are on the average mostly in the middle class. So those who are working and really cannot afford to stay at home and not work and take care of their parents, the economic loss is tremendous, that it's probably more practical for them to place Lola and Lolo in a nursing
In a
home or in a
home,
dementia village. But what we're
especially
trying
because
to,
there are
yeah,
clinical practitioners there,
yes,
and the nurses are trained in
yes, we have
geriatric care.
nurses and we have social workers and the doctor. Of course, they're under my care and some other specialists. I work with neurologists and some
It's a whole
surgeons.
package.
It's a whole package. So, uh, yeah, I think that's what they see. It's more practical. It's not that they don't love their lolo or lola. It's just that it's more practical and it's probably best for everyone. And this is the option. This is the last options for them. And what we're trying to do is to change the mindset, not the mindset or the perception of Filipinos about home for the aged, ang tawag nila, because
Yeah,
of the image of,
yeah.
dilapidated facility and mabahong lugar and amoy lupa. We want to change that. We want to show that we can
Because they used
provide
to be
quality
places
care.
that for abandoned and
Yes, abandoned elderlies, no? So they started to have this kind of concept and a picture in the brain, and we want to erase that. We want to have a branded service that can compete with international like kind of services.
yeah.
So yeah.
So you'd say that most of your some of your residents are expats.
Yes, now we are more and more receiving inquiries and calls from other countries.
From other
And
countries.
yes, we also have expats right now who tend to think that it's better service in the Philippines because of our culture. We really take care of our elderlies. We have empathy. The employees have empathy. They have a different
Oh,
way of doing
I
things.
think we're known for that. Our nurses, our caregivers are known for
Exactly.
that.
It's that.
Yeah. Sir, klaro ko lang po, sir, ha? Because you mentioned something about having to lobby to the government for support in regard to reimbursement in the payment of long-term care. So,
Yes.
in effect, the government has not been very supportive to services
Well,
like
uh,
long-term care.
it's not that
They
they are
were
not
during the
supportive.
COVID response, but
Yes, it's
for
not that they're
reimbursement,
not.
there's
Yeah,
nothing.
it's not that they're supportive. They just don't know.
I
Wala
don't
kasing
know.
naglalabi. Yeah, the government is there to support, but we have to tell them what to do, because we are the experts. You know, they will not get consultants just to get something done. They ask us if you are. I asked them, why don't you support long-term care? I asked the field health then, and they told me, Mike, we don't know who to pay, what to pay, where to pay. Ano ba dapat ang babayaran namin? So it's up to our society, the Philippine College of Geriatric Medicine, the Philippine Society of Geriatrics and Gerontology, to
Pero medyo,
provide
medyo magulo pa
the
kasi yung
data.
PhilHealth ngayon, Doc, eh, no?
Yeah, but
We've not been getting our we've
yeah,
not
but
been getting our share since September of
now,
last year.
yeah, but I think,
Ano ko ba sinabi? Sorry.
but I think we should provide them the data, no? Because I think they are willing naman to pay the services. I'm talking about our future selves na, no? Yung future selves natin that maybe someday we will be old enough and maybe someday we'll be at risk of dementia and be placed in a nursing home. And we want this to be supported by the government too, aside
Okay,
from the
Doc, we're
hospitalization.
going to pause for a break and we just like to remind, ayan po mga kaibigan, sana po, kasi election season, sir, neutral naman ako, sir. This is in general terms. I won't put you into any compromising situation. But, mga kaibigan, iboto na lang po natin yung mga kandidato na may plataforma for health and welfare of the older person. So I don't know who they are. Maybe we should be listening to their speeches. And I hope this is already a clue that you have a lot of
Yes.
voters, like at the moment, sir, di ba? Mga 7 million votes yan sila.
Yeah,
for
around that.
older persons, so senior
And
citizens. So I
and
think they
they are
better listen
voters,
because that's a
yeah,
huge catchment area of votes.
and
So,
they can vote.
sir, pero bago po ako mapolitika dito, we're going to pause for a few reminders and we will be back. Stay with
Thank
us.
you.
This show would like to thank Basics, Aesthetics and Anti-Aging Clinic, located at ground floor Damilab 2 Building, Paras Corner, Lupodia Street, Sobrero, Davao City, 0917-109-6699. Thank you to Torrent Pharma, not just healthcare, but life care.
Stay active and feeling bagets, I drink Nestle Boost Optimum para ang muscles malakas, pati immunity at digestive health ko. Nestle Boost Optimum, lakas mga bagets!
Buy 2, save 400 pesos.
Sandali lang yung ating commercials, Doc.
Oo nga.
It's just a few seconds, but yeah, we do have ad placements. I would just like to ask Angel, do we have something in the comment box for Dr. Mike? That's from Loretta. Hello. She's one of the board of directors, Coach Loretta Juarez. Good evening. Doc, ikaw magbasa, Doc. May glasses ko. Wala akong glasses.
Jovi Perez, good evening po.
Jovi Perez, yes, she's a constant. Thank you, Jovi. And we have Doc Arwin.
Dr. Arwin Serrano, yes.
Yeah, because I recognize from his profile picture. Hello, Doc Arwin. And then, Doc, binigyan pa kita ng trabaho.
Hazel Imperial. Yan. Hi,
Hazel,
good evening.
Good evening, Hazel. She gave me, Doc, she gave me a Christmas present this morning. Thank you, Hazel.
Wow, talaga. Christmas na pala, ano nga pala?
Yes, Doc. And then, may sinabi si Loreto na, welcome. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Lois. And then,
Novi Pelera.
yeah, the queen of my office, Doctor. She's my office manager.
Hi, Julian
And,
Panganiban Rivera. Julian
alright.
Panganiban Rivera.
Hello. Thank you
Hello.
and welcome to the show. Doc, hindi ba natin lang makita?
Nolene Clarito Abad. Miss
Yeah.
Abad.
She's
Yeah.
she's a PHR doc.
Okay.
Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin yung kanyang kanyang product. And then,
Raquel Corambes.
she's my
Raquel
cousin.
Olanas.
Yes, she's my cousin.
Hello.
So welcome to the show and thanks for tuning in. And so, Doctor, this is a bit sensitive question for you.
Sure.
How was the village like during the pandemic?
Yes, I'm glad
How
you
did
asked
you
the
deal with the
question.
COVID surge?
Yes. In fact, it is, well, it's an unforgettable experience. Although it's not yet over officially. We were able to manage the village, and unfortunately, it has affected the operations, especially the social activities of the residents of
Yeah.
the patients. No, we have to implement closure and what's this? We have
Distancing?
distancing and no
Yeah.
visitors and those
You closed the stores.
policies. Yes, close the stores and no mass. There were no masses held, no gatherings, no social gatherings held. But only the other day we had a Christmas party, and since they have received their vaccines, so we are now officially opening again. I mean, the facility and slowly going back to the normal. Hopefully, it continues to be safe out there.
Now, I understand
Yun,
from the video that you sent me the caregivers and the staff were actually locked down for almost two
Yes,
years. Can we
almost two
just
years.
show them? Can we just
Yes.
show to the
So,
audience
yeah,
how
yeah.
they reacted
How they
when they learned
reacted
that they're
when we
going to go?
announced that the lockdown is finished. Yeah.
Yeah, so we would like to show the audience how it was. Angel, can we show? That's how happy they were. Oh, they're
They were
so
so
happy. I saw
happy,
the
and
video.
you can hear their screams all over the place, and they called their loved ones that they will be able to go home.
Actually,
They will.
Doc, they were all jumping for joy, but I was the one almost in tears because I wasn't looking at their joy. I wasn't looking at the fact that they're going home. I was looking
Mhm.
back at the time that they spent and sacrificed, not being with the
Exactly.
family, but just being with the patients in the dementia village. What a sacrifice! And for that, they're like frontliners, really.
Yes.
Very valued.
They spent almost 2 years
Yeah,
in the facility, and
away
now they're
from their
starting
families.
away from their families, their daughters, their sons, their loved ones, their husbands and wives. So from we have like 70 staffs in that facility, and yeah, most of them, almost all of them, really stayed with us
Yeah. All for the love of the care of
of
the older
the care of the
persons.
older persons. Yes.
It really is very heart tugging, Doc, seeing that kind of scene and seeing that finally makakalabas na sila sa lungga for somehow a
Yes,
couple of
para
days.
silang nasa oil rig.
Yeah. Tapos bigla na lang na
Yeah.
aahunin. Okay, you are now
Yes.
land-based from being, sea-based for a long time. So, Doctor, we are thankful to you for sitting with us in discussing the
Thank you.
Dementia Village, for enlightening us about the new model of care, the Dementia Village of Verna. The Verna Aged Care and Dementia Village. You
Dementia
are the
Village.
first in the Philippines, and you overtook Switzerland and Germany. Ba talaga pag Pinoy? So, Doctor, your parting words?
Yes, thank you again, Eva, and I am very proud of what you have achieved here. Now you have your own talk show. No, who knows what will follow? I hope you invite me in that category again. Uh, for Laverne, if you want to get in touch with us, you just give us a call or give me a call. Eva knows my number, and
Do
we
you
will
have a
try to help
you have
you.
an FB page, Doctor?
Meron
Yeah,
naman kaming FB page and website, yung
yeah.
lavernaagecare.com.
They just like they want to look you up. They just have
Yes,
to type in the search word Laverna Dementia
aged
Village, and
care,
everything will appear. Your address,
lavernaagedcare.com
your
.ph.
address, your
Mm,
contact numbers. Yeah, because
yes.
I'm sure
So
there will
thank
be a
you.
lot of people now thinking, all right, there's this place that I'm looking for, and this might just be the right place. Tapos reserve ng room dyan, ha? Tapos paggawa nila ka ng spa. Just in case
Sige,
I need a
palalagay
place
tayo ng spa for you.
for me. Hindi naman, Doc. May gagamit yung
Thank
iba
you, thank
dyan.
you.
Okay. So, Doc, again, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And I would also like to
Thank
thank
you, Eva.
personal Thanksgiving to Spins and Interlaces, the makers of quality furniture with top-notch craftsmanship using local indigenous materials. So you can check their Facebook page as well as Blissful Manila for your dining and exquisite one kind of table setting needs. Also, you can check their FB page of Blissful Manila. Thank you, Dr. Hector Bobby Nazareno of Partners in Plastic Surgery. And so Doc, again, thank you because I think we are closing the show, and I think Angel, we are going to show Doc a little pakita or teaser for what the next episode will be like in the third episode. Angel, do we have these kids?
Lola and Lola.
Oh, Nana, how about you, babe? Merry Christmas, Lola and Lola.
Merry Christmas, Lola and Lola.
Okay. Well, those were Liam and Liana, and they were saying Merry Christmas, Lola and Lola and Ama, because next episode, Doctor, is actually Pasko, si Lolo at si Lola in the eyes of a child. And you have another resource speaker for that. We are big on intergenerational dynamics here. And that's just a little say teaser for what next week will be like. So before we leave, I would like to thank again. Thank you very much to the viewers who tuned in tonight. Mga kamag-anak ko po sa Matina Pangi na kamag-anak po ng papa ko. Salamat sa pag-like and share. At yung ating hacienda dyan, kumusta na? Yung small farm daw. Hacienda, nakabenta na ba tayo? And then salamat sa pag-like and share to my in-laws and to my friends in the biopharma. And just saying also that I'd like to, of course, thank you, Doctor, and to my tech support angel, Salvatore, La Italiana. Dahil pareho kaming puyat hanggang alas 3 ng umaga, nagtitext at nagchat pa rin po because we want to give you quality materials for our program. Angels, thank you so much. I couldn't really have a program without you. And to the man in my life, Daddy Boy, who's in front of me, thank you so much for your kindness, love, and support. And to my only son, Enzo Anak, Mama loves you. And please take care sa mga bike rides mo, Langga. Thank you. This is all the time we have for now. And hanggang sa susunod po na Sabado, same time, same channel, same passion for the older persons. And like what we always say here, sama-sama sa TLC. Please like and share and support our page and our advocacies of this channel by clicking the blue badge near the comment section. It's 2 weeks before Christmas. Magpapakabait na po tayong lahat. So, with this, thank you very much and good night. Thank you, Dr. Ramos. And my hello to Ate Joy. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And we have to play your Angel. We're gonna play the Christmas this year in Verna.
Sa Paskong darating, Santa Claus nyo'y ako rin, pagkat kayong lahat ay naging masunurin. Dadalhan ko kayo ng mansana sa tubas, may candy at chocolate, peras, kastanyas na marami. Sa araw ng Pasko, huwag nang malulumbay, ipagdiwang ang araw habang nabubuhay. Sa Paskong darating, Santa Claus nyo'y ako rin, pagkat kayong lahat ay mahal sa akin. Sa Paskong